this, this thing sucks them in, and you know, now you're gonna see some of these falling towards left side and some of them downwards. And when I use this sucker object, it sucks everything in. As you saw, the gravity is towards that direction, and we don't see any frame drops at all. I mean, even though I am on a viewport screen right now, we see this stuff. So here we go. The moment I use this, things happen to be like that. And this has a radius. That's why we see, if you go here, this is a gravity grenade, hold G to aim, and then magic happens. Boom. What this does is that it attracts all the ragdolls of the enemies, and all of them would fall back towards their previous gravity direction that they came in. So basically, if these guys are standing on the wall, that means their gravity direction is the wall. These guys are also this wall. That means their gravity direction is towards this wall. They're walking on separate walls. As you can see, they have two separate nav meshes in this case, in different normal directions. And in this thing is the player gravity direction change. It's the same concept as those gravity changes. However, the player has a local upwards, which is a normal, but these objects, when you interact with them, they would switch your gravity direction, meaning that I am now walking on a wall, and my local up is the left side. The jump aspect, everything. Now that wall, this wall that was downwards, like upwards, now I can easily walk on it, go through this little hole, and now I have a whole new perspective on the environment. Again, this is a very simple prototype type thing. However, if this was a fully blown game, like let's say here, right? You see that little object? That is an object that has its gravity towards that direction, as you saw over there. And if I happen to flip my gravity direction now my gravity direction is changed, and this is my local down with the objects that are like this as well. This is also another thing that's pretty cool. Like, it basically makes you not look at the environment as just, hey, this is the downwards, what's in front of me. You're also looking at walls as potential places that you can walk on and interact with. The next thing to show you guys is, by the way, this is the level I made, so a lot of this thing, guys, and the rest of the stuff I'm going to show is in this level. So this is a time warp type object. So what this is, we assume that this object is stuck in time and get to know their environment around them. I'm just going to be pausing this thing. The time literally paused so I can get past this, because now I don't die. Now those are enemies, however I have no gun, so how would I defend myself? Well, I have this little bomb again called the time bomb, which what they do is it stops the upcoming bullets and it would freeze them in the air. The bullets would get frozen in the air. Literally the time stops, and all the bullets in the air, the bullets are physical objects, and after the time bomb disappears, the bullet will continue their path before. However, as you can see, the enemy has a lot of problems with the animations, which is part of the reason I didn't really continue this project, because I saw that there is no more potential than it is already, because I don't have any modelers to work with, and as I explained, a lot of people left my team, so I'm just mostly putting this out for a technical showcase type thing. Again, as you saw right now, those bullets got stacked up and it killed this person right here. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be using this gravity grenade, and boom. Pretty fun, right? It's a cool way of killing people. I'm not going to short thing that the player is thinking, hey, how can I open this path? I just do this now, right? And it's pretty fun to see things get crumbled to experiment with. And this time I'm actually going to be playing it for real instead of just talking. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm just going to be timing this. Great. Have their own nav mesh system. It's using the Unity's default nav mesh system, but I had to design my own way of handling characters that walk not only on the ground, but on walls, on roof, on any direction that a wall is facing. And for that, I had to come up with my own way of handling nav mesh surfaces. I had to come up with making each one empty game object for each gravity direction that is primitive. We have left, forward, right, back, up, down. So for each one of those, I create a empty game object, add my own nav, my surface, add the corresponding objects to it, and make sure that little object, for example, if it's a right one, the normal of that, the green arrow of that should point to the direction I want. For example, the G up, that means the gravity is upwards. That means things are going to be upside down. And as you see, the green has to look up, whereas the gravity downwards, it's the opposite. Things are going to, the green arrow should be pointing downwards. So that's about that. And as you can see in this form of level design, I am making it so that the player has to actually climb up from here, up on here, and now walk sideways to get to his destination, which is walking on a wall. And as great timing. And now I use this, and now I switch my gravity direction. And now I am walking on different directions. Now my downwards used to be there. Now my down is here again, as you saw right now. So I have to now time this really well. I've played it so many times, so I'm just going to be doing this instead. Okay, so this part is the interesting part, because now you have to, that direction above me is going to be my gravity direction, which means I got to time this really well, which is approximately here. And now I'm walking on the different side of the wall. And as the players playing the game, they realize that I will explain that pipe. That's also another thing. It's the same concept as the wall thing you saw. It's a shadow in time and space, basically. Again, another gravity direction. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Are facing upside down, and you have to come here. And as you saw over there, I mean, I was gonna die anyways. And you have to come kill them so that you can use this gravity direction and actually get on the ground without taking any fall damage. So the combat is, again, I had to create my own way of the AI looking towards the gravity directions, because they use a different orientation. So we're not looking at the default upwards vector 3 up, you know, the 0 1 0, with the default quaternion of like the forward vector and the default up vector. Now the up vector is completely different. So for your camera orientation especially, I had to do a lot of experimentation to get this to work. Based on any gravity direction you walk on, the camera is oriental, and it has a minimum and a maximum. And you also are free to walk around based on where to look. I can see my own character, badass. And I can use the gravity grenade that I have to stop time, literally. So I'm gonna be fighting these people again. So sorry for the bad graphics. It happens to the best of us. Just had a bad team, and it's something that I couldn't really control. Just gonna be fighting this guy right now. There you go. I'm gonna use the gravity grenade now to tackle you guys now. Now they're all getting sucked in towards this place. Pretty fun. And now they're falling. And they're gonna all fall backwards. Or they're just gonna stand up, because yeah, this is their default gravity direction. This is a whole layer of challenge in terms of how player thinks about their environments that they're in, because as again, it's not the conventional environment that you're used to. So now I can easily now use this to get on the ground and continue my path. Now I'm actually got onto ground. Okay, and for here you have to make it so that you don't get any fall damage, or like, you know, because you're supposed to get past here. And if this collides with me, I'm dead. So what I would do is that I would throw this little grenade to stop this thing. Literally. Like how I'm stopping bullets. I would stop time with this. Literally. Same concept here. However, now I have to use this little bomb to catch this thing. It's a gravity grenade, right? So I'm gonna use it right now to catch this thing. And I just caught it. Same concept. This is another glitch in time and space. I'm gonna be throwing this, and then boom. And these are enemies again that are on a different side, but I'm just gonna dodge them. That was close. That was really close, actually. That scared me. That could have easily killed me. Enemies that are gonna be shooting me. So I'm going to be blocking their bullets. This is a sort of shield, as you see. And I can now use this as an advantage to get a sort of shield for myself, which stops time. However, I gotta make sure to stay out of its zone after, as you guys probably saw. Gonna do the same thing again. These stop bullets, literally a safe zone for me to take cover, and time himself. We meet him over there, and the moment the player goes to a direction, the boss fight starts. So he has a whole algorithm of going here. Now I have to time jump this. I have to jump on a very certain time or I die. Now I'm gonna start killing him again. No, we got no shaders, no nothing to actually make it look very enjoyable when you shoot a weapon, or no recoil, because again, I thought I spent enough time already for this. And if I don't jump right now, I'll take a fall, like I'll take damage. I'm gonna test it for you right now. And these objects are falling each towards their own gravity, which is their wall. I'm gonna be showing you first when I take damage. I took damage right now. And now now he tries to change my gravity. And this really depends on where you're looking, really, but he's now going to be changing my gravity towards this direction that you see. Objects starts falling towards that direction, but the player has to time it really well based on where he's looking. As you saw right now, he just did it again, and the objects are all falling towards that direction. I'm just going to be showing it to you. The player also falls as well, but again, because of the cheat code I made, and if these objects collide with you, you're basically dead. So the time grenade uses their own, so each object has its own time dilation, by the way. That's how the time is handled. The whole time, the aspect of time dilation and when the time switches. And yeah, each object has its own gravity and also their own velocity, custom velocity, and their own time dilation. So this, it varies between 0 and 1, but it can get bigger too. That means faster than normal. But that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to be making it right now so that this happens right now. And I'm going to be stopping some of them, actually, funny enough. Well, I just didn't. Too unlucky for me. So he's going to be throwing them. Oh, my grenade just fell over there, as you saw.